Stephen A. Smith should learn from Skip Bayless's mistakes. Woo! Now that's a headline. What the hell are y'all talking about? Let's read and react to this. The power of a headline. But before we do that, you guys think y'all slick. Try to get ahead of me when we do these articles. So now we're going to introduce a new feature. And now y'all can't cheat and get ahead of me. Play the music, please. Let's go. First Take is in search of a new host. And on Thursday's program, the star of the show, Stephen A. Smith, got another turn attempting the dual role as host and panelist. But if Smith and ESPN are serious about doing what's best for the program, they need to take a lesson from an old friend in Skip Bayless. Well, I see where we're going now. Bayless has lost his place on national television after unceremoniously leaving FS1. Ooh, that was a struggle. And his flagship show, Undisputed. Since that time, he's continued forward with his own podcast in an attempt to cling to whatever relevance he has left as a professional sports agitator. See, now this is the funny thing about media, because they talking about me too. I lost my spot in national television, and I'm hanging on and clinging on to whatever relevance I have as a professional. I'm not an agitator. That means they don't like Skip Bayless. See how they wrote that? They wouldn't write that about me, would you? Anyway, let's keep going. But while the downfall of Skip Bayless began with his high-profile breakup with Shannon Sharpe on Undisputed, it was accelerated when the decision was made to reboot the show with the provocateur in a hosting role. Yeah, we kind of forgot when Skip Bayless had to host that last year. What was that, with Lil Wayne and everybody? Oh, that was tough, him in the hosting role. I get it. Instead of having someone to play off of and spar with, Bayless was trying to hold court over an athlete panel consisting of big personalities like Richard Sherman, Keyshawn Johnson, and Paul Pierce. I had someone who is now working with Skip Bayless presently said the reason that failed and the reason why he's doing the role that he's doing now with all of the other guys, Aqib, Talib, et cetera, Gerald McCoy and all that, is because they needed him to be back in a role where he was getting punched, where he was the one taking all the hits. That show is still based off of, or at least Skip Bayless's persona is based off of All in the Family. If you guys remember that show, it was like this raunchy show, crazy show. I love that show. Old man who was stubborn and knew his way, and nobody else could talk him off his square. And then everybody else was on a mission to try and change his mind, right? Open his mind up, and it never worked. That's Skip Bayless in a nutshell. So it's interesting. They say right here, to say the experiment did not work would be an understatement. Ratings continue to slide. Bayless was out, and the program was canceled a year later. At the moment, ESPN is auditioning hosts to take over from Molly Qerim after her stunning and abrupt resignation. Qerim suddenly walked away from the First Take, and ESPN rose in the midst of negotiations over a new contract after a decade in the role. You see how I can add words and still make it make sense? That's not actually a good skill. Just do that. Anyway, I told you guys, watch my old video about Molly Qerim in terms of what's really going on behind the scenes with Bank. Basically, y'all know it ain't fresh if after 10 years you just go to work Monday and then don't go to work Tuesday but send an Instagram post in your absence and then don't even shout out your old co-host for 10 years. I done left many of shows, all for good reasons, and you always get a goodbye. But when I just say bye, that's because it's bad. You get it? Anyway, and make no mistake about it, being the moderator of First Take is one of the most challenging roles on television. You have to always be at the top of your game, never knowing what might come your way in a live, sometimes heated debate environment, and you have to get others involved while also knowing that you'll never be the star of the show. Alongside Stephen A. Smith, somehow, Qerim was able to sustain herself and shine in a role for a decade. Absolutely. It's clear that ESPN is wasting no time in trying to find a successor. Already this week, we have seen Amina Smith, Shea Pepler Cornett. Damn, that sounds like a condiment. That sounds like some good food. Peter Schrager. Oh, they better not give Peter that power. Oh, Ryan Clark, when you go, he gonna get you back. And Smith himself sat in the anchor seat. Okay, this is where I want to insert who's been in that role before, because we know Molly Qerim held it down for a decade. We forget, some of us. Carrie Champion used to do that same role. We also got to talk about just the role of moderator, not just on First Take. How about when Michelle Beadle was a moderator and Carissa Thompson still is, but was a moderator as well? You see the difference? So Molly Qerim held it down in a way where she was like, there's so much noise on this show. The volume is high. The energy is high. They're going back and forth, heated debate. Let me bring it down a notch, right? You ever seen an equalizer, a graphic equalizer at a soundboard or any concert, or even you with your Alpine in your car? You can't have it all at high, right? You can't have everything pitched up plus 10, because then it's just noise. So to make it sound beautiful, if we got too much of that treble, we got to bring that bass down, right, to get you that beautiful blend. I thought Molly did a beautiful job of dealing with what she was dealing with, which was a and she brought it down a notch. Good. But if you look at the same role, Carissa Thompson, Michelle Beadle, or Carrie Champion, when Carrie was in that same role on that same show, she showed her personality in her little bits. She was like, yo, I'm going to get some of this out. And she really represented culture, right? Just like, okay, I'm fresh. I mean, first of all, dressed to a 9, fresh, all that. And everything she was expressing was like, I'm going to get mine in too. Now, I think that's part of the reason why she left, because they were like, you ain't going to get that much in. And then they were like, all right, a tug of war of that. But then you saw Michelle Beadle, Sports Nation, when obviously, you know, I worked with her for many a years. And she felt like more of just one of us in terms of being an opinionist or in terms of being an analyst, right? Michelle Beadle was like, I'm talking too. Don't trip. But she would go with a little more political, right? So we got Carrie in culture. We got Michelle in politics. She going to let you know what she think of that topic, but she going to take it to a grander space, probably political, right? Now, what about Carissa Thompson, who we still see all the time, saw on Thursday Night Football? She finds a way to insert herself with everyone else, but it's a different blend, correct? Right, you see her, and it feels like she's just part of the hang, one of the fellas up there, et cetera, right? And that's how she is in real life, too, just like, man, just can blend it with anybody. So that's why she's been holding it down so long. As we continue, there are several worthy candidates inside ESPN that could do a great job, but taking a look at what happened when his former debate partner tried his hand at hosting should show the network and Smith himself that it should not be the first choice. Yeah, but that's also a challenge. You got to remember, there's an athlete's ego. Our ego is like, look, we can't do what? Oh, yes, I can. Oh, only 0.1% of the world's population ever go pro. So why is mama and daddy spending so much money on these private trainings and sessions and all this after school programming in my sports? You want to know why? Because they know if they got something there, and if that little one can turn it into something, oh, it could be special. But you got to have a special mindset. The ego has to say the impossible is just things that haven't been done yet. So why would Stephen A. Smith be any different? He at the top of the mountain. He like, you saying I can't host? Watch this. Now watch where they take it from this, because it's an interesting article. The show flows much better with a true moderator being able to set up Smith and his debate partners, and it turns the volume and intensity down a little bit, which is sometimes very much needed. Yeah, we talked about that. That's what Molly was so special at. Smith is not a point guard that is there to set up his teammates and then get out of the way. He's a scorer, right? Yeah, we know he's a shooting guard. Say it. If anything, it dilutes what makes First Take the juggernaut it has become over the last decade. Thursday's show saw him lead a panel featuring 3 of ESPN's biggest NFL analysts in Mina Kimes, Ryan Clark, and Dan Orlowski. Saw a clip of that. I thought that was firepower. I thought that was intentional. Like, oh, okay, let's bring out big dogs. Let's go. And it's NFL season. We know that's going to happen. Of course, in writing this, it's a very real possibility that hosting is a direction that ESPN and, peep the and, Stephen A. Smith himself want to go. It's not something that is widely known. I've told you guys before, but Smith is the executive producer of First Take. So in some aspect, it's not just that he would approve of whoever ESPN might peg to host the show, but that he will make the decision himself. Yeah, y'all know I can read this well, huh? What we could be watching is the sports version of Jeopardy, auditioning a bunch of really cool guest hosts until Mike Richards gave himself the job. If you recall, that didn't work either. Now, in that, we took it to a lighthearted place and talked about Mike Richards. But let's talk about how the fact that he gets to, and this is love, this is power, he gets to say who could be on the show. But guess what? The flip, Molly Qerim knows this. He also gets to say who ain't going to be on the show. So that whole Molly thing is deep, because I rock with you. You my boy for a decade. Even though their relationship soured, soured to the point where he didn't give her that stamp of approval. That's why Molly's gone. It's definitely not in his DNA as someone who has taken pretty much every single media opportunity that's come his way in the last few years, but it would best serve Stephen A. Smith if he took a less is more approach and allowed someone else to host First Take. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know if they stuck the landing on that one. Why? You trying to tell me if I'm Stephen A. Smith, who had this career. Remember I told you I met Stephen A. Smith first time on the Best Damn Sports Show like 2001, and I was amazed. I remember saying this to my boys. I was like, dog, I just met some reporter from Philadelphia who literally was in the green room, only said 2 words, and it wasn't because he was mean. He just was in his zone, and then I turned out to find out, as I got to know him, that's who he is. Like, he's more quiet than not. And I was like, oh, but he went from that, and when that light turned on, it went red, and he went, wow. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, in my mind, I was like, that's a star. I was telling my boys, like, this reporter was sick. Now he's Stephen A. Smith. He went from that guy to having his own talk show on ESPN, having that canceled, having gone away from ESPN, coming back to ESPN, working with Skip Bayless, learning with Skip Bayless, learning from Skip Bayless, taking over for Skip Bayless. Now, top dog, Pat McAfee comes in, and it's a power dynamic, power struggle. He wins that battle. We'll see who wins that war because Pat McAfee going to be up soon. It's crazy. Like, you telling that guy not to try something new? He got 2 other shows, 3 other shows. He got his podcast. He got Sirius XM, 2 shows. You trying to tell that he's trying to run for president? Bill Maher over there endorsed. You trying to tell that guy, don't do that. Why? Tell me why. Oh, because the guy that you replaced, he couldn't do it. And what you talking about, Willis? So I don't think that that's the way we should approach this. If I'm Stephen A. Smith, I have to say one thing and one thing only. If I put someone in that seat, actually I'm going to add 2 things. One, are they going to create a role for themselves like Molly did? Don't ask yourself if they're going to be better than Molly, because that's not the question. Are they going to be able to hold down the role or create a new role for themselves? One. And that answer is going to lead you to the second question, which is, could I do it? Could I do it better? Peep game on that, right? And if that, and he got the power to do it, I've heard a lot of people say it's more energy, more fun now that Molly's gone and Stephen A. Smith is in that role. But you guys watch the show, beat it up in the comments, and let me know what you think. All right? Blah, blah, blah. And now, you know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But before we flow, boy, guess what we got to do? We got to check in on your money, your dough, boy. What's going on? Are you guys protecting yourself out there? Listen to me, family. I'm going to put y'all up on game. Right here, Americans lost $12.5 billion to scams last year. Don't think it can't happen to you. That's why I roll with today's sponsor, Aura. Think of them like Rodney Harrison in the backfield, Brian Dawkins, an all-pro safety lurking on that field, seeing it all, always watching. Aura monitors all 3 credit bureaus, alerts you to fraud up to 250 times faster, and backs you with $1 million in identity theft insurance plus 24/7 support. So lock down your credit, clean up your data, protect your devices all in one app right here. Hit Aura. That's Aura. Let's get to it. Aura.com. Yeah. Or go to the QR code right there. Aura.com/Marcellus Wiley, or the link in my description for a 14-day free trial. Stay safe and keep your identity yours. That's Aura.com/Marcellus Wiley. Blah, 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 blah. So now, you know what we do on this show, boy. Now, we about to do Pimp C. Rest in peace. This going to be tough. It's going to be fresh or it's going to be whack. But we going to try it. We flow, boy. Now, I want y'all to actually see how tough this going to be. Check this out right here. This is what I'm about to rap to. And if y'all see me slip up and show y'all this before, but this time I'm doing it on purpose. This is crazy. Look at it. What I'm going to do right there. What I'm going to do right here. Okay. All right. Good luck to me. So now, you know what we do on this show, boy. I'm so scared. We flow, boy. Oh, God. Oh, this going to be a problem. Hey, yo, Stephen A. Smith. Let's go get him, Pimp C. Better have that thing. Oh, you want me to go get him, Wiley? Yes, please go get him, big dog. Okay. Okay, so this is about Steven, Skip, and Molly and all them? Yeah, go get them, big dog. Okay, let's start off. Stephen A. Smith, man, you loud with them takes. Hosting ain't your lane, don't repeat Skip's mistakes. Skip tried to play boss, ended up like a clown. Now his co-host flipped the script and holding him down. You a legend on that mic, fiery can't be faking. But hosting's like ref duty, think us back breaking. That chair heavy, bro, harder than it seems. Keep your crown in debate, don't ref the team. Don't host the show, just cook with the flow. Leave the stage man role for the ones who don't know. Give love to the queens holding down that seat. That's Molly, Qerim, they hustle's elite. Yeah, Molly, Qerim steady kept the ship on coast. Balancing them egos, bruh, that's a different force. When Max and Steven heated up like fire, she cooled the convo down, never looked all tired. Qerim champion too, she was sharp with that glove. Held first take together with finesse and love. Ain't no shame in stepping back, keep doing your thing. Let the real host while you let the bells ring. See, hosting ain't glam, it's a grind all day. You juggle wild dudes who just won't behave. It's babysitting grown men with mics in they face. Keep the pace moving, dog, like a 100-meter race. Stephen A., you the GOAT when it comes to hot takes. But wearing too many hats, bruh, that's a mistake. Let the pros handle traffic, just keep your fire so your words keep trending, never ever expire. Skip Bayless learned late, trying to run the parade. What the weight of the whistle left his shine all frayed. Don't fall for that trap, keep that throne you own. In debate kingdom, you the king on the throne. Respect the ones who mastered that role. Without them, big dog, you gon' get swallowed whole. Steven, stay savage, keep flexing your mic, but let Molly and Qerim shine. They did it right. Oh, give me some, yes or no? Thank you, a little louder. Oh, you're far too kind. That hurt.